ットベースグランダス登場。マイクロトレーラー合体。宇宙の果てからコンボイを探せ。トランスフォーマーロボットベースグランダス。
Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover Generation 1 Grandus. This is a scratch build custom that I built of Grandus because he is one of the rarest Transformers out there. To give you guys a little bit of history, I personally actually owned a Grandus back, it's been about around 10 years ago or so, and I had to sell it. It's just one of those things where I had to kind of purge some of my collection, but not a big deal. I did have my hands on it. It really wasn't complete either. That's the other thing. But Grandus is one of those ones that's very, very difficult to get a hold of out there. If anybody knows anything about the lineage of Transformers, this was toward the tail end of even Japan actually having Transformers for the Gen 1 era. As you guys can see, I've got a few Transformers sitting on top of Grandus here in his land slash aircraft carrier mode. He does have a little detail here picked out from here to here, which are the treads that actually roll this entire tank thing along. Now this is actually, like I said, a scratch build, so it doesn't actually have wheels. Unfortunately, it's something I could not actually engineer into it, but hey, I got it pretty close. It is definitely a little bigger than the normal scale. Not by a lot, but enough, I would say. If you guys want to know what materials I've used, I will get into that as soon as we get done going through the entire tour of Grandus here. But as you can see, next to on G2 GoBots, he's a pretty good sized guy. He's got a lot to him. I'm probably going to end up knocking pieces off here and there, but not a big deal. I'll get more into how that stuff actually attaches to later. And your core class prime as well, for those who want more of a modern set. And then GoBots. Here's Loco in his train mode, and then I'll just do a quick transformation here to put Loco in his other mode. Yep, there he is in robot mode. And like I said, he's a big guy. You can see these guys are kind of almost like a little lower than frame. You can see the tower sits here pretty high. I got a knockoff version of Six Wing here that I kind of set up here, and you can see he's a tall boy. I have to move the camera here a little bit for you. You can see it's a very, very large toy. It's very big. And the funny thing is, this thing doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, which is kind of funny. Considering this is one of the most rarest Transformers that's out there when it comes to Grandus, he is very difficult to get hold of. I'll move Six Wing here out of the way. You can see he's got a little bitty helipad here. That's where I put one of the MicroMaster helicopters that go to Six Wing on there. And then, you know, he's got the aircraft carrier part here that takes off. And looking at the detail here, you've got a elevator here kind of picked out. You got the runway area, and then a couple launching areas for planes to launch and take off. Got your helipad, and then you got your command tower. And if you look at him, he's got a few guns. There's a gun down here. There's guns here in the back. And then he's got a gun over here on the side, and he's got the same set of guns over here on the opposite side of him as well. I'll move all these out of the way so that way we can take a closer look at him. It's like I said, this is a scratch build, so it is kind of fragile. But I myself wanted to have a Grandus back in my collection again, so I decided to create one and make one myself. This guy's got some weight to him. He's not too terrible, but he does have a little bit of weight to him. But to kind of give you a little bit of a little better look at how big he really is. He is enormous. And like I said, he's got little guns here on the sides, and a gun turret here, and these as well. These do move because these are magnets. I used magnets actually to hold these on. And same thing here for the side cannons here as well. These are magnetic, so I can move them anywhere I want to move them. These do not move. These are actually stagnant and stuck in place, but to be honest, they're supposed to be artillery cannons. They're supposed to fire out either direction anyway. When you have it in the robot mode, they're basically kind of in the same position. And for those that are a little nitpicky, there are guns under here as well. I've actually put the little red cannons here on his shoulders facing forward, and you'll see him facing the other direction here in a minute. This part here is the little radar dish. This does actually, it's attached with a magnet, so I can kind of move it any direction I want to, which is kind of nice. Like I said, he's got his little helipad here on the side. And turning him completely around, I'm probably going to end up knocking this thing off a couple times when I set this side. I do need a little stronger magnet for that. You can see he's got a little bit of stability back here, but there's not much back here to look at because, you know, the actual real Grandus toy didn't have anything back here either. It literally was just panels. That's all it was. There was nothing really back there either. If you notice, though, he's got his gigantic cockpit area here, along with a couple little antennas. These can also be used as like laser guns if you wanted to call them laser guns. The original ones were kind of like little paddly kind of things that moved. I'll get more into that here in a minute. But let's go ahead and transform him into robot mode. This transformation is very, very basic. You just stand him up, and then you clip these feet in. And as you can tell, he's so tall, he's kind of more or less out of my frame. But you can see that he is a very, very big boy. He's got a lot of detail here going on that I've actually included on him. His arms do move. He does have moving arms. These are kind of magnetic, put into one place here so it stays in one position when he's in aircraft mode, but you can move these forward. He does actually have grappling hands, which the original one did not have that. I did add that kind of to it, which is kind of nice. He's also got his little cannons here on the sides. And then all the detail that he has. There's just a lot of detail that he's got. I've done a lot of the paint work to him. I primarily painted all the little gold bits and such. He's supposed to have like little stars here, and I was like, you know what, just like a little bit of gold is fine. It's got his nice big Autobot logo right there in the middle, and this here kind of keeps popping loose because I need to just re-glue the magnet on, so you have to forgive that. But that just happens, especially when you build a scratch build. You're going to probably end up having to do a little bit of tweaking to things. But these do come off, these little magnet pieces here, so I can move his large cannon down here if I wanted to, and then I can move his side cannon up here if I want to, which is, it's mainly because I have kind of a weak magnet here. I'm going to replace that magnet with a stronger one here really soon. But yeah. Now he wants to fight me on camera. That figures. See? Always when the camera's on, right? Always when the camera's on. Everything goes fine without the camera. Anyway, let's see. Let's get it back there. And like I said, the radar dish portion here does move. So you can kind of just spin it if you want to. Over here on the other side though, he's got his platform piece here, and this actually comes off. It's just a peg. There's a little hole right here on top, and then you can have him have his helipad here on his shoulder if you want to. so I can just have a helicopter landed there. It's kind of cool. I know he's very tall. He's a very big boy. And to be honest, the original toy was maybe here. He's maybe about a head height taller. That's one thing I've noticed about him. But anyway, let's go into his base mode. Because base mode is actually where this guy shines. That's probably my favorite mode other than the aircraft carrier mode. I'm really into the aircraft carrier mode as well. Oh, and to let you guys know, I did actually make this tower removable here on the back. This is actually just a magnet that's holding it on. Because, you know, magnets work wonders. Never mind the man behind the curtain kind of thing going on there. But, anyway, you'll flip these forward. And then this right here would just unpeg from here in the front. And then it will lower all the way down. And there we go. And Grandus there in his base mode. And he is a big boy. Like I said, he's pretty good sized. Put Optimus here. He's probably a little too tall for the inside of it, which is pretty appropriate actually. You can put a G2 GoBot in here if I can get my fingers to work today, because they don't want to work. And you put Loco here so that way you can see how he looks. And you can just have a helicopter land here if you want. And just because I can, I'm going to put 6-liner over here next to it as well. So, as you can see, he's got a lot going on here. He does have a working elevator, or not elevator, but loading arm that does move, and it raises up and down, and extends out as well. He also does not have the actual elevator, because I couldn't really figure out how to engineer that, but I was like, you know what, I think it's pretty good. I'll give you a little closer look at the inside of the robot itself. Its bases. You can see there he's got if I can get this to focus a little better. Okay. That's kind of hard to see. But anyway, this is like the command center area. He's got a little bit of a map readout here and some little controls and such there. And we'll just kind of drop down here a little bit and go to the repair center. You notice he's got a lot of gadgets and gizmos and all these kind of like technical readouts, and he's got a thing here where you can just park like any kind of Micromaster you want. I'll take one of my little Micromaster train bots and set it here. And you can see he's just getting repaired. That's what he's sitting there for, just repairs. And then you go down to the very bottom of Grandus here, and he's got a bit of a I would say this is more or less like the refueling area and just maintenance bays and such. Oops. Let me move these two out of the way so you can see those a little better, since I'm clumsy. Yep. But it's just kind of a blank area. It's got a little bit of computer type of stuff and such down there. So I kind of add a little bit of that to it. And then I decided to add a little bit of detail just to the deck. I want to have a bit of a launch bay kind of thing, because I can actually take one of the Micromaster bases and set it here, and then put one of the roads down onto this and literally kind of rest it on this bit of a lip here on one of the treads, and it works pretty well. But this right here allows you to launch jets off of here if you want to. You can act like this right here is just kind of a repair bay, or either that or maybe just that's where the helicopter lands, or whatever you want. It's very cool. I like how I've really redesigned this. Go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt that I put on him. Let's see how well I can get that to work with this older camera I've got here. And it didn't want to do it. Oh, there we go. You can see he actually has his blue visor, his little silver mouth. It's just enough detail there just to kind of really bring it in. And the original toy, though, it had a spinning wheel in the back that you could spin, and it would spin the 2 antennas, this radar, and there actually was another radar here. I didn't decide to put the other radar on because I just couldn't really figure out how I wanted to do that part, so I really haven't gotten that far on it. I might end up doing a bit of an update thing later on for you guys just to see that, but I honestly think good old Grandus here is pretty neat. I'm very happy with what I have built here. I know this is a scratch build. Eagle Eye viewers out there probably can tell what it's made of. It's made of foam core. The actual inside of this whole thing is actually a Cheez-It box I took and basically added everything to it, because the Cheez-It box itself was actually pretty much the perfect size. And then I went through and actually built all the accoutrements on him. Oops. Including the headpiece. I pretty much kind of scavenged a bunch of parts and such that I had laying around, because a lot of the stuff I had laying around was just like a one-off piece that I'm never going to use. It's going to sit in a bin for God knows how long. And like I said, like some of the pieces I use are actually just pieces from old broken knockoffs too. So it's not like it's really like a valuable type of thing for you guys out there that are like, oh my god, he's like devaluing things. The other thing a lot of people probably can tell is like, oh, those are stickers from the GoBot Command Center. Yes, they are. The thing is I salvaged these off of a broken GoBot Command Center that I've actually used for building my my actual real robot I built. My 4.5 foot tall robot I have in the house. He actually has some bits and pieces off of that GoBot Center built into him because they're robust enough pieces, so it works. But anyway, I just thought this would be a really, really cool thing to show you guys, because this is an amazing custom that I've done, and I build a lot of backdrops and such, so I wanted to show you guys probably one of the most involved and crazy ones that I've done. I'm going to show you guys some more play sets here in the future. But anyway, I wanted to just show you guys that, with any kind of imagination, a little bit of, know-how, you can pretty much build anything you really want. And when it comes to Grandus, him being so rare and hard to find and very difficult to get hold of the original pieces to the point that people are 3D printing them, there's nothing wrong with building your own. But anyway, this has been Plasticon. This has been another Transformers review. And I hope you guys get to customizing and creating more stuff, because I was a bit inspired here by a guy that runs this thing called the Smuggler's Room. Building something out of nothing. That's basically what I've done. Anyway, this is Plasticon. This is me signing off. Peace out, y'all. See y'all later. Bye.